MMTE here at Hearts and Crafts. Super excited to be here with you today on my first Mega Make and Take. And I am going to walk you through how to put together the flamingo card that is in your kit. Once we're done putting this together, I am then going to hop on my computer and show you how to do a print and cut using your Silhouette software, and kind of walk you through digitally how I created this card. Okay, so let's open up your kit. Maybe. All right, so inside your kit, you're gonna have your card base, your envelope, the black portion, and then your clip art. Should be 5 pieces of clip art. Ooh, their legs got intertwined. Okay, so I like to use my favorite adhesive, which is the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And I'm gonna start by just putting a small amount of this on the back of my card. Doesn't take very much. And I am going to center it on my card base. So these have, your card base has already been pre-scored and folded for you. So you're just going to center it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our different pieces of the clip art and we're going to layer this up. So I'm gonna start with the leaf. I'm gonna grab some foam squares. Some people call these dimensionals, foam squares. They have lots of different names. Your pieces may still have some white going around it. Feel free to just pull it off if you'd like. I intentionally put white borders around some of these so that when we layer them, it'll stand out more. Okay, I did about that much. Take the backing off. If I had a pair of scissors, I could cut and put a smaller one there or smaller dimensionals. But I think this is gonna work well. All right, so now what you're gonna do is start by lining up the top of your leaf and just lay it right down on top of the piece that was already there. And that is your first layer. Our second layer is we're gonna come over here to this flamingo. And what I wanna point out is here on the head, I'm gonna use just one dimensional. Over here on this side of the body, I'm gonna double them up. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna take 2 foam squares, and put another one right up on top of that, but just one on its head. The reason for that is this is already popped up, but over here it's not going to be popped up. So by putting 2 on top of each other, it's going to give you that added height. Okay, so we'll just put this right down on top of that. And so as you can see here, you're just building up that dimension. Now we're going to work on this one. So let's see, we're going to do 2 on the head and 2 in the body here. Yeah. I'm not worrying about the legs. They can kind of just dangle because we have another piece here that our legs are going to be or that will be covering our legs. Okay, so we'll line this up right like that. And you can see that his leg actually extends beyond the pattern paper. I did that intentionally just to give it some additional character. All right, now we're gonna work on our toucan. So with my toucan, I'm gonna do 3 layers. So a question that I get quite frequently is, how do you mail this? It does take a little bit more postage for these, but I find that the recipients really enjoy the dimensions on it. Also learned in Europe that they call this decoupaging, which I know that it's the term here in the US has a completely different interpretation of decoupaging. So when you're working with your silhouette, you know, have fun with your layers. Cut out the same image multiple times to just give it that added look. Okay, so now I'm gonna line this up. A little hard to do from this angle, but I think you get the idea. All right. Now we're going to put on our sentiment. Sorry about the whining in the background. We have a new puppy. Her name is Zoe. And she was born June 3rd, and she likes to be held. All right, oop, almost put that on upside down. So I'm just gonna add this up at the top. Now here's where the fun begins. Put my glue away. Let me actually, you may not have noticed it when I did it, but to keep your tip from drying out, when you're done using it, put a little bubble of adhesive up on the top of it, then close this up. What that does is it keeps air from going down into that. So now I'm gonna use, optionally, the Nuvo Strawberry Bonbon Glitter Marker. And I'm going to use the Nuvo Glitter Drops, and this is in Gold Coast. All right, when you first open this, your tip is going to be white, so you just need to press down on it to get it started until it turns the color of the marker. All right, what I'm going to do here is where the darker of the pink is, I'm coming in and I'm adding some additional pink. And it's just going to give it a really pretty shimmer. Let's lift up this leaf right here, get down inside of it. I'm going to come into its wings with an upward motion. Get some of that up in here. If you don't have a marker, Stickles would work really well, or any other brand. Gonna get his a little bit in there. So now let me do him. And there's no right way or wrong way to do this. If you follow the pattern of the darker color, then you'll be safe in keeping the natural shadows that already exist in your clip art. I love making everything more blingy. Is that a word? All right, so we're gonna come up into all right, now let's work on our toucan. Get into his beak. And I'm gonna press down on this just to get it a little bit juicier. Okay, I'm gonna come and just pull out your colors. What do you think? All right, now that I'm done with the marker, I'm now going to go in with the glitter. So I'm in your leaves, there's already some glitter here. I'm just following that same path. So I'm going to do, so I'm basically following the gold that already exists throughout the pattern. Because in my opinion, you can't really have too much bling. Well, I guess you could. And you'll notice that on the wings or the feathers, I'm even going into that pink a little bit on my pineapple. I'm just putting a little dot into each of those pieces. We'll come up into the greenery. His nose. Okay, now I'm going to come right onto my first layer. And what I'm doing is I'm putting down some and then squeeze it out and then just pull it out, using it that way. Okay, now what I want to do is just follow the pattern here of these little swirls. And I'm just rubbing it all in the direction of what is already there. Okay. So I hope that you can see how that just brings this to life and makes it very glittery. All right, so let's pause for a moment and I will pick it back up on my computer and I'll show you how to make this doing print and cuts on your silhouette. Be right back.